So you might have noticed that we're adding a key to the root of the directory and not to the restaurants tab. Notice that? That is no bueno. So how do we fix that? Does anyone want to take a guess how we fix it? What do you think, Daniel?
We specify database equals that and restaurant ref equals.
Ah.
So like,
I like the way you're thinking.
So you want to go into like database.restaurant.
So right there we have the slash. What should we put in there instead of just slash? Slash restaurants. Let's do it. Save. And then let's go back to our console. Let's run it again. Refresh. And let's do add restaurants one more time. Okay, cool. Now head back into our database. Oh, look at that. Now we have a restaurants updated. The restaurants key is updated with another key that's a unique identifier with a value of what? Burger King. Look at that. So now all we need to do is we have to call this function with an argument specifying what restaurants should be added to our restaurant list. That's kind of cool, right? So how do you think we should update our home.ejs page to allow people to input information? Maybe a form tag, but I think in this case, since we're just doing it directly from the client, we don't need a form. What could we just include what? We could. Let's just say right here, would you type in add restaurant for me? And then a colon, and then a space, and then an input tag. And then self-close that input tag. Awesome. This is right below the part where it says voting app. Let's give this input an ID. And let's set it equal to add restaurant. And just to make this, the whole app, a little nicer, I'm going to go right above the body, and I'm going to create a div that's going to hold everything, a div with a class of container. Yes, perfect. Class equals container. And then let's end that. Let's get rid of the ending div part. And at the very bottom of the page before the script tags, let's end the div before the script tags. Yeah, perfect. Lovely. Now I'm going to go ahead and indent all this really quickly just so we know it's nested inside the div. Right before the script tags and the div. And this will just center all of our content for us. Or add a little bit of spacing. So we're just starting the div with the class container right after the body. And then we're ending it right before the script tags. And we also have an input here that says add restaurant. And all we need to do is go back into Firebase voting. And let's create, instead of taking in the restaurant name as an argument, let's get rid of that restaurant name argument at the very top. And let's create a variable called, right below the restaurant ref, let's say var restaurant name equals document.getElementById. And what do we call it? Add restaurant? Cool. And now let's hit enter, and then hit tab a few times. Hit it again. One more time. Two more. 2 spaces. One space, I guess. Dot value. So we know we're taking the value of whatever is inside the input whenever someone wants to run this add restaurant function. And then instead of saying Burger King, we'll just say restaurant name. And we'll make it not a string, because we want to take the variable that we just stored from the input. Nice. And now all we need to do is wire up this function to a button. You like the way I say button? Button. Not button, button. That's how I say it. I say button. People think that's weird, but I like saying button. I enunciate my t. Butane? I sound British. British people don't even say their T's. Sorry, I apologize to all British people watching this video. Go to home.ejs. And then right below the add restaurant section, let's create a button. Let's give that button a class name, or a class, equals button, btn, excuse me, that's my fault, btn for materialize, and space, button, btn, dash, primary, or success. I can't remember which one it is. We're going to find out. And then, let's add a little space after this so we know these are in different sections. And let's call that button add submit, or whatever you want to call it. Now all we need to do is we need to add an on-click handler to it inside the button, equals add restaurant in, yeah, exactly. Perfecto. Now save it. And let's save the Firebase voting file as well, and let's test this out. So refresh. Says I'm signed in. There's a little place to add a restaurant. Give me the name of a restaurant to add, people. Chipotle? Chick-fil-A. Ooh, I don't know if I appreciate that, but we're going to do it anyway. I don't even know how to spell Chick-fil-A, because I refuse to go there. It's Chick. Is it Chick or with a C? Does it have a K in it? No K. That's how I spell Chick-fil-A?
No.
Oh, there's a dash between everything.
There's a K.
There is a K.
No, it says no C, right?
It's Chick and then fill A. Chick. Okay.
What a silly name. No, we're going with this silly name for Chick-fil-A. Submit the Chick-fil-A. Let's see what happens. Okay, we clicked it. It should update the database. Let's see if it did. Oh, there we go. We got 2 Chick-fil-A's. Look at that. Yes, Daniel.
Why does it take so long to delete?
Why does it take so long to delete stuff here? That's a good question. I don't exactly know. I think it just lets you know visually that it's updating it, and then it gets rid of it. But now we see we have Chick-fil-A. But you notice that we don't have any visual feedback here to let us know that we updated it. So as soon as we add a restaurant, let's also create a new little section that shows that we're going to add a new restaurant to that. So I'm going to end this video here, and then we're going to do that part in the next one. And we're going to start listening to data so that all of the data is going to be put into a little location where we can vote on it. Questions, by the way? Any questions for anybody? Yes, Matt Rob.
I have an error on the value line.
Cool. I will help you out with the errors and whatever, but I'm going to end this video here, and I'll help you errors, and then we'll get with the rest of it.